No, it doesn't have the preview on this one. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Flip it up, yo.
Yep.
What's up, people? This is the Dave and Cameron. We don't have coffee. I do have a sparkling diet, low sugar drink with Dave and Cameron, so we can do that, although that's a really shitty name for a podcast.
Yep.
Anyway.
Dave, Cameron, and a bottle of water.
Yeah. Would you like to, you want to share a spritzer?
Yeah.
Dave's man cave just took a weird left turn.
Yeah, right.
So, today we got 2 topics, and then by the end, Cameron's going to have to come up with a 3rd topic. But the first 2 topics. Oh yeah, a lot of pressure. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, if my ratings go down because
right.
last time you're on this show.
Just go off the deep end on the 3rd one.
Yeah. Tell the editor, cut him out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, so we're going to talk about all the outrage going on about IDs. So it's one topic split into twain, 2? I don't know.
2,
whatever.
Twice.
Not thrice, because that would be 3. So I guess twain. We're going to split it in twain. So, voter ID cards. Are they actually created by Satan? Are they evil? Are they racist? Are they anti-women?
I don't believe so.
No. All right, next topic.
right.
It's going to be a real short one today.
Yeah,
no, whoever told you that is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most ridiculous conversations you could ever have with anybody. Especially
the reasons given, right? It's like, well, why are they racist? I've actually heard people, I think one of them was a politician, say that, well, black people might not have the internet. They might have a cell phone, but they probably don't have a data plan.
Yeah.
Or they don't know how to get to the DMV. Or, well, a lot of black people don't have, passports, because they can't afford it. It's like, it's $90. If they can afford that new iPhone or the new Galaxy that most people have, white or black.
I don't think these people realize that, Wi-Fi is basically free nowadays.
Yeah.
To say somebody doesn't have the access to internet is insane.
And I'm pretty sure the Obama phones came with a data plan.
Right. You can get a data plan for like nothing now.
Mint Mobile, Ryan Reynolds' company, $15 a month, unlimited.
Right.
And that's, of course, based on the premise that black people are so poor that they can't go to Verizon or AT&T, which, of course, is horseshit. Black people make money.
You're saying that, like, black people only have, like, $10 a month or something? Like, that's just crazy.
It is absolutely asinine, and it's insulting, which begs the question, if you're a person of color, why do you keep supporting the party that thinks you're an idiot and doesn't know how to get on the internet? Or that black people don't tend to have passports? Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of videos of Carnival Cruise lately, and apparently a lot of them do have passports. Because, I mean, how do you get on a ship and then have a 200-person brawl?
Believe it or not, black people do leave the country.
They go to Mexico. They go to Europe. Right. Like,
breaking news. I mean,
yeah,
would have never known.
I see a brother drive by in a Corvette, and you're like, we've had a black president. We have black senators, mayors, governors, and you're like, no. They can't get a cell phone, and they don't know how to get a passport that's $90, and it's good for, what, 10 years? It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Or to get a birth certificate. What is it, a $20 fee?
And
you go online and order it and have a certified copy sent to you? Like,
and how many times have people gone and done like interviews with people in the streets and just talking to them about this subject, and they're like, well, like, do you have like a driver's license? They're like, no. It's like, but I have an ID. It's like, because even if somebody doesn't have a car and maybe they take the bus or something like that, or they ride their bike everywhere because they can't afford a car, they have identification. Like, these people have gotten an ID because they need that ID for other things than just voting.
Even if you're super poor, you're working somewhere, you're working hourly, you get a paycheck, you don't have a bank account, but you have to, so you're going to go to a check cashing place.
Right.
Like, okay, take it, like you don't have any of these other things, you still have to get your monies, in which case, you're going to have an ID to check the, because they're gonna make sure, is that your check or did you steal it?
You want alcohol? You're gonna need an ID.
Cigarettes?
It's gonna need an ID.
Rent a car, buy a car, open a bank account.
Gonna need an ID.
Buy beer?
Gonna need an ID.
Shit, what else? Get on an airplane, TSA.
Gonna need an ID.
Oh, what else?
Get pulled over? Probably gonna need an ID.
Yeah, like what else do you need an ID for?
You want to buy a vape? You're gonna need an ID there too.
An ID for that. If I go to sign up or make a change to my cell phone plan at AT&T,
gonna need an ID.
Try to think of something in this world that I don't need an ID for.
You want to pick up your kid from school? Gonna need an ID.
Gonna need an ID for that too. Damn it. Filling out any kind of loan application, you're gonna need an ID.
Yeah, and a social security number. So
that's true. Yeah, you need that too.
Believe it or not, black people do have social security numbers too.
They do. I'd heard that rumor.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was a myth or not. What if I have to go to the doctor?
Gonna need an ID for that too.
Shit. What if I need I gotta go to CVS over there and pick up a prescription?
Probably gonna need an ID. Release your address.
Gonna need
Probably
something.
gonna need an ID for that.
I guess, well, it'll depend. All right, what if I want to go and buy Benadryl or one of the over-the-counter allergy medicines that they keep behind the counter because somebody once made meth with it?
Probably gonna need an ID to prove how old you are.
Well, you need the ID because they have to log it in the book.
That too, yeah.
And you can only buy 1 pack or 2 packs at a time.
Sudafed.
Yeah, exactly. Because the over-the-counter shit that's normally on the shelf, they changed all the formulation, and that shit doesn't work for me. So I have to get Apridine, which used to be Actifed.
Gotcha.
That shit works, but it's behind the counter. Got to show a fucking ID. If I buy a bottle of wine at Kroger, got to show ID. Like the list of things you need an ID for, is really extensive. And so the notion that people are going around, going to work, getting a job. You fill out a job application. You got to fill out your I-90 Verify form. You need an ID.
Yeah, I don't know. We probably said the bank one, but like you want to go take money out of your cash, your account. Yeah, you're gonna need an ID for that.
Yeah, not even just opening account. If I go into the bank to withdraw money from my account,
right? I need to prove that it's my account.
Yeah. So even if I have my debit card,
they still ask for your ID.
Exactly, to make sure I didn't just swipe it from somebody.
Right.
So the notion that people of color, whether you're black, Hispanic, whatever, are going through life and you just can't figure out how to get to the DMV. Oh, when I go and register my tags.
Also, you need an ID for that too.
When I call State Farm and I take out an insurance policy for my car.
You got to send an ID copy. Crazy, right?
God damn it. There's pretty much nothing in life that you don't need an ID card for your driver's license.
Pretty much any major adult task is going to need a form of identification.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be, a regular ID card. It could be any form of government-issued identification. Passport, ID, could be military identification. It could be anything like that.
My concealed carry permit a couple times. Actually, one time, about 12 years ago, I had switched wallets, or maybe I was changing insurance or something for my bike, and I forgot to put my wallet. I left it on my computer desk. I go to the airport, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have my driver's license, but I had my state-issued carry permit that has my picture on it and all my information. Yeah. That worked getting through TSA.
We almost forgot. You want to buy a firearm in the United States?
Firearm.
You need an ID. It's your Second Amendment right, and you still need an identification for it.
Yeah, I don't have a right to a bank account. I don't have a right to drive a car. I don't have a right to own a car. It's a privilege. But you have a right to keep and bear arms, and yet I still have to give ID. Why? To make sure that I am who I say I am.
Right.
And to make sure that I'm not a prohibited person.
Right. Right.
So the idea that voting is somehow separate from everyday normal life, and that asking for an ID, which costs all of like $10 or something like that, is just, that's just too much to expect a brother to pay. Go fuck yourselves.
Exactly.
Like, that is so insulting to black people. Or to women who get married, like, oh, a woman got married. It's like, we're told that women are strong and smarter than men, and they should be running the country and boardrooms everywhere and all this stuff, and being a housewife is a bad thing, so women are just as capable, if not more, than men. Yet somehow filling out a form at the DMV with their new name is somehow beyond their ability.
Which, keep in mind, is a task that hundreds of thousands of Americans probably deal with every year.
Every month. How many people in the country get married in a month?
Right.
100,000, 200,000.
This is not a new process.
No.
This has existed for a while now.
Longer than we've been alive. I mean, it's been since they've had driver's licenses.
Yeah. So it's just.
Oh, I'm refinancing my house.
Yeah.
Got to show ID.
Oh, yeah. There we go. That's another one.
All
But yeah,
that stuff.
it's so insulting.
Rent an apartment.
Yep. Hey, yeah. Literally, you want a new place of residence, you're going to need an identification for that, and it doesn't matter what residence it is. Buying, renting, apartment, house, whatever.
Renting a room in someone's house. They're going to run a credit check.
They're going to have to
background check.
They're probably going to do a background check unless you're like their friend or something. But yeah, it is so insulting to generalize an entire group of people that they somehow are not smart enough to figure out how to get an ID or figure out how to overcome the one roadblock that they have to get an identification.
And the party claiming this is the party that claims to be the most educated and MAGA stupid and doesn't have college degrees and all this other stuff. I don't have a college degree. I'm doing I seem to have made a good career for myself, and I know how to get to the DMV. I have internet. I do have a home internet.
Yep.
I figured that part out.
Yeah.
So without a college degree, and I could pay the bill for that internet without a college degree. Like I figured all this stuff out.
Right.
Like it's crazy what humans can do. It's like it's not that long ago that we were living in mud huts and fighting for survival. Now some clowns may be stupid, like this idiot who can't pick a fucking lane. Jesus Christ, dude. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, it's every time a politician opens their mouth, and it could be from any side. This is not an issue with any particular person. It is just so insulting to generalize a group of people and basically call them too stupid to be an adult and figure out these meaningless tasks. I mean, these are simple things.
Yeah.
These are not complex issues. And then to basically say that that's why voter ID is racist.
Yeah, I wish we had a term to describe when you judge an entire group negatively based on their skin color. If we had, I wish we, let's put some thought in. You put some suggestions in the comments. If we could come up with a word to describe that type of belief system, that everyone's inferior because they're this or that.
This definitely hasn't been going on for thousands of years.
No.
This term just hasn't been created yet.
Yeah,
so.
something that, I don't know, come up with something that has to do with race.
Yeah.
Come up with a term that would describe that.
Yeah.
And then look at what side's doing it.
What if we added just a few letters on the end of race?
Well, like there's communism, socialism. You could probably add ism. I think that usually would make it relative.
Yeah.
So if we took a word like race
and then added
an ism.
Oh,
maybe.
That would work. I think that would work. Racism?
It feels right.
Yeah. That rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a good, simple word to describe the belief system. And so people who are saying that black people are too stupid to get IDs and can't afford internet, would you say that those people, if they believe in that racism, racist?
Yeah.
I feel like that works.
I think someone who takes part in racism is probably racist. So.
And then the irony that those people are the ones claiming that the beliefs that they are spewing are racist, but they're saying I'm racist when I don't believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really weird.
But I think we're onto something.
Yeah. Like we could spend hours just going down the psychology and the mental gymnastics one has to do. It's almost as if they're projecting their own shit on us.
Crazy.
So
it's almost like the party that's shouting racism and you're racist might be the actual ones that are racist.
Kind of like an evolution of the he who smelt it dealt it philosophy. The one screaming the loudest and always screaming racism is probably the racist.
Exactly.
I could get on. I could
get on with that.
Yeah.
I think I'm on board that train.
So do you think there's a reason? Because it's obviously a lie. It's obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
Black people are as smart as white people and vice versa. Women are as smart as men. We're all as capable as each other if we take the time to put a minute's worth of thought into it, which we do because we're driving past black people as we're driving. I saw a woman driver. Now, she bounced off the curb and rashed up her rim, but she's driving.
crazy. Anybody can drive nowadays. You know, this is we're really living in the 21st century, guys.
Yeah, we're going 11 in a 45 behind an Asian woman, but she is driving.
Yeah. There's only one lane, but yet she's trying to merge. Okay.
Right. See, this isn't racist. This is just racial. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's okay because it's funny.
Comedy.
But so they have to know that they're lying and that this is bullshit. And so when people lie, there's usually a motive. They're trying to hide something. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to get caught. Or they're trying to manipulate some sort of outcome. And if they told the truth, they wouldn't get that outcome. So they have to create the notion of something else in order to sway people's opinions or actions to come around and give them the result they want. So it seems really weird that the party that claims the 2000 election was stolen, the 2016 election was stolen and hacked, the 2024 election was stolen and rigged by Musk, is the same party that says, but we don't need to make any efforts to crack down on voter fraud. Even though they're the ones saying 3 elections of the last 7, nearly half of the last 7 elections were stolen and invalid, yet they're against a voter ID law that would ensure that only legal residents that are non-felons, all the things that are already the law, we need a way to enforce it, which is a vetted, standardized voter ID card. And they're against that, despite them claiming that we keep stealing elections from them.
It's interesting, you know, and, you know, literally just like a few weeks ago, Mr. Schumer, Senator Schumer, he said the quiet part out loud and said that these new policies, these new laws, if they get enacted, will remove millions of immigrants from the voter rolls and they will no longer be allowed to vote in elections. Isn't that the quiet part?
Yeah.
Isn't that the part that we're not supposed to talk about? It's like almost like they weren't supposed to be on the voter roll to begin with.
The dude is like 80.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Joe at the end where he just kind of letting shit fly and, you know, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. And
yeah, exactly.
It's like, what does that mean?
I like when the kids at the pool touch my hairy legs.
Yeah. But think about the inherent racism of, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. You know what that translates to? Toe the line. Know your place, boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do as you're told.
It's just, it blows my mind how open this stuff is. And you know, they do the same sort of manipulation when it comes to the illegal immigrant part of the voter IDs and stuff like that. It really does blow my mind that people are out here just believing, you know, like, you know, he makes a good point. You know, that's, you know, like, why are they making all these laws? I don't know. Maybe because we just want fair elections. It's not that difficult to understand what we're trying to get towards.
No, and you know, we want to reduce mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we got to have that. Most countries don't allow mail-in ballots except for extenuating circumstance. If you are overseas while the election's being held, if you are a military person that is deployed overseas, if you are a legit disabled person that can't drive or get to a polling or leave your house or something like that, you're in a nursing home. There are exceptions, and there should be, for people who are legally allowed to vote but physically cannot get to a poll. That's the exception. That should not be the norm. Having millions of people our age in good health, I mean, got a little belly, but you know, but relatively good health, that can get off our fat ass and go to the damn poll and vote. I don't have a problem with early voting. I don't have any problem with in-person voting with a valid ID, because a lot of states only require a driver's license in order to vote. That's the ID you show. But a lot of those states don't require you to be a citizen in order to get a driver's license. And that's the problem. We have millions of illegal immigrants, tens of millions here, and a lot of them live in states that are getting a driver's license even though they are illegal. And then when their state also, just coincidentally, only requires a driver's license in order to vote, yeah, people are voting in elections that they shouldn't be.
Yep.
Is it enough to sway it one way or the other? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be happening. It's just like, well, if you drink and drive, plenty of people drink and drive and manage not to hit anyone on their way home. So is it okay? Because, well, it's only bad if it makes a difference if they hit somebody.
Right.
The problem is it's not a problem until it's a problem, and then it's too late.
Yeah.
If the behavior is illegal in the first place, then it shouldn't be allowed or tolerated, let alone encouraged.
Yeah. And also, with voting in elections, it is your right as an American citizen to vote and to voice your opinion as, part of your representation. You vote for your representation in the country. It's your right to vote for that. And we want to make sure that only American citizens are voting in that, because that is their right. It's nobody else's right to vote here. So,
Exactly.
So to argue against proving that you're an American citizen, which is a very easy concept, we've been doing this for hundreds of years. I mean, people have been proving who they are for a long time.
Yeah.
So if you hold rights sacred, just like you would hold the First, Second Amendment, Fifth Amendment, whatever amendment that you really, if you love all of your rights, you should care about someone who doesn't belong voting in the election.
Well, could I go to Spain and vote in their election?
No.
Could I go to England?
No.
North Korea?
Nope. Definitely not North Korea.
I mean, can I go?
There's no elections in North Korea, by the way.
That's true.
They're all rigged, remember?
No, and actually, the penalty for illegally entering North Korea is death. Here, we put you on a bus and give you meals.
Yeah.
And
Put you in a 5-star hotel in New York City.
And we send you home.
Yeah.
Like,
we give you, $3,000 in food stamps a week.
it's insane. It's like, why wouldn't you come here? We're
Right.
the land of free shit.
Right.
And when the people, and that's just that where you connect all the dots. The people that are encouraging all this are the same people that are fighting for sanctuary states. They want to get rid of ICE. They don't want voter ID cards. When you add that all up, it doesn't take a PhD to figure out that the party that's doing all that is doing it because they feel that their side will gain. They're not going to do it to help Trump.
Right.
They're not going to do it to help anything conservative. They're letting in people in droves with no vetting process, with open border policies, because they feel it benefits them. They don't want voter ID laws preventing people that shouldn't vote because not having the IDs benefits them. Having a voter ID and cutting off the chance of those votes, they obviously feel hurts them. Well, how could it hurt them?
Yeah.
If people aren't voting illegally in the first place, the best argument you can say is, well, it's not necessary. Okay, but it doesn't mean you couldn't still do it.
Yeah.
The way they're fighting against it and the arguments they're making, which are lies and fabrication, are because they obviously feel, not me, not Cameron, they feel that preventing illegal people from voting will have a dramatic and significant effect on them.
Yep.
If voter fraud doesn't happen, it's like, all right, that's unnecessary, but all right, whatever. They wouldn't be drawing a line in the sand and shutting down the government to prevent it. They would just say, well, we don't really need it. And there's a lot of things we don't need, but whatever.
And to argue that say somebody comes into the country illegally and they were just opened with welcome arms, saying, yeah, come over, come in, open border, we'll give you all these benefits, you'll have a great life. To sit there and argue that they're not in any way, shape, or form in their mind thinking that, oh, I can just vote, I could vote in this election for the people that gave me all this stuff and the sanctuary and all that.
The ones that are threatening the ones that aren't threatening to throw you out. Right.
To think that they somehow would never vote in an election is just crazy.
Well, there's like 17 or 19 state and or local municipal cities where it's too cold for you? Is it too chilly? All right. I want to chill you out. Nibble check.
Making an icebox, keep me fresh.
Yeah. Smuggling peas. So, yeah. Where the fuck was I going before I started talking about nipples? I just totally got off track. Does it every time.
Yeah. We were talking about people voting in elections
yeah.
that weren't supposed to.
There are several state and local cities, like San Francisco's one, where illegals are allowed to vote. Well, they live here. They should have a say in the local mayor and city council. No, fuck you. They're not supposed to be here. If I snuck into Mexico, Mexico's not going to let me vote. In fact, they're going to kick me out if they don't throw me in jail.
Right.
And the second time I come back to Mexico, it's an automatic mandatory jail sentence. You don't want to go to a Mexican prison for a year.
No.
So for everyone saying, oh, it's racist, kicking out illegals, why? Every other country, including the countries they're coming from, are way more strict than we are. We are the most lax, open, forgiving in this regard. We're not Nazis. We're not Gestapo. Not fascist. We have laws. If you break them, there should be consequences.
Yeah.
And to think that there shouldn't be is stupid. That is a lie to justify something that you want, some ulterior motive. And the ulterior motive is we want lots of illegals flooding in. Well, why do you want that? Well, it must help you in some way. Well, how does it help you? Because they're probably going to vote. If not now, later. It throws off the congressional redistricting with the census data. Yep. Census data. I guarantee you, if we change the law to say the census only counts verified legal citizens, Democrats would, well, first of all, they wouldn't allow that to happen. They would fight that.
No, they would tooth and nail. They would never vote for anything like that.
But if that were to change tomorrow, let's just say that was something that Trump could do legally through executive order, this would all go away tomorrow. Because suddenly there'd be no benefits. Democrats would see illegals as a burden because it's costing money and there's no upside. They're willing to put up with the costs. They're willing to put up with the crime. They're willing to put up with all the ICE actions and all this other shit, protests, because overall they feel it's still a benefit to them. If you took away the benefit of no census count, which means blue states and sanctuary cities don't pick up extra congressional House seats, which shifts the balance of power in Washington, then suddenly they're just left with the costs and the budget deficits they have to answer to at some point. There's no benefit that they can say, well, at least it was worth it because we got this. That is exactly what would happen. Anyone saying no to that, you're either a moron or your head is just in the sand and you just don't want to admit what you're really on about.
Yeah.
But to anybody with critical thinking can see, it's just human nature. Everybody is selfish. Even someone who is a paramedic, you do it because helping people saves lives. So even though it's selfish, it's still a good thing. Being selfish doesn't mean bad.
Yeah.
I might want to make $1 million. Well, I do that by coming up with a widget, inventing it, and I'm hiring people, and I got salespeople, and I build a factory to build widgets, and I made money, but I also help people. They're all paying taxes. I'm paying taxes. It's selfish, but it's still a good thing. But it's always a good thing. Unless you give your life for somebody else, that's probably the only truly selfless thing, because you're not going to feel anything. You're going to be dead. You're doing something that you won't reap the benefit of.
It's inherent human nature to be selfish.
Yeah.
We evolved to survive.
Animals are selfish.
Right.
Animals will eat the other one if it means their survival. They'll abandon their cub if it thinks that one's a little bit sick and I gotta take care of the others. Like,
it's just how it is. So
round two. Start. Finish him.
Yeah, finish him.
Begin. So on IDs, Kansas and a couple other states are passing what they're calling draconian anti-trans legislation.
Draconian.
Yes. And so what that means, Oklahoma or Kansas just invalidated 1,700 trans people's driver's licenses overnight, is the headline. And you're like, really? And you read the article. No, they passed a law that says what is on the license, your physical attributes, has to be real.
Yeah.
Right?
Not what you identify.
Yeah, not whatever you...
That's the difference.
If I change my name to Susan and put out a dress, I am cosplaying as a woman.
Right.
And I can mince around and act like this caricature of what I think a woman looks and sounds like. And I can claim I'm a trans woman. Trans woman doesn't mean you're a woman.
Exactly. What is a woman?
Now, try to get a Democrat to answer that. Try to get a liberal woman to answer that, and they can't. Well, anyone who says they're a woman.
Insane.
What is that? What do you mean? You're a tool. So, they're all crying about this, and oh my God, well, A, it didn't happen overnight. They passed the law, it went into effect, you had a month or 3 months to go correct your driver's license. Now, why is this important? Well, as we've been talking, all these things you have to do, the driver's license isn't just about, oh, you're allowed to drive. It's identifying that you've passed the test and you're allowed to drive, but it's also your state-issued ID. Instead of carrying multiple IDs for multiple purposes, states have the state driver's license, and states like Georgia have the real ID. I had to use a passport to go get my real ID because TSA is now going to require them to get on a plane. So the same type of thing that you have to get to vote that everyone's crying about, you need if you're going to jump on a plane, I think starting this year or next year anyway. It's a new TSA requirement. So I can't, all they're saying is that just because you put on a dress, if I'm looking at your ID, well, what if that day as a trans woman, you don't put your wig and dress on?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this ID going, now if I'm a cop, if I'm renting a car to you, if you're filling out a loan, buying a home, all the other 90 things we listed before, and I'm looking at this and what I'm seeing here doesn't match the person I'm looking at, what's the purpose of having an ID if it's not accurate? It doesn't allow me to actually go, is that the person?
Yeah. And that's the thing that people confuse, is that identification isn't just about, it's a card that says who you are and you're the details of yourself. It's a picture on there to match your face and your looks, to prove that you are what's on the card and that you are who you say you are. So if the picture doesn't match, it's just like if you grabbed your sister's, whose sister's ID, whose name is Joe, and then use that ID to get alcohol. Clearly it does not match.
Right.
So this is the whole concept.
Yeah, it would be no. If you were trans and you put on makeup and a dress and in a wig, because you'd be trans, that hair ain't gonna cut it, dude.
Right.
You're not gonna match that. That no longer matches any more than if I put on there, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, and I'm obviously a white boy. If I put myself down as 5'3" and a black woman, because that's how I identify, or if I say I'm Asian, the cop or whoever is looking at the ID, TSA, the renter, and the person in the rental office at the apartment, whatever, they're going to look at this and go, whose fucking ID is this? This is not you. This does not match. And when it's an ID stands for, wait for it,
crazy,
identification.
What? I had no idea.
Blew my mind when I learned that today. I was this many years old when I learned that ID is for identification purposes.
What?
And so
that's insane.
When it doesn't match, what's the point of having an ID if the ID does not have to correspond to the truth or reality? If you want to live your life as a woman and cosplay as this or that, and that's your identity and it makes you happy, I don't give a shit. Stay out of women's sports.
Yep.
Don't go in the little girl's bathroom when you're 58 with a beard, but you put on a dress and I'm a woman now.
Yep. Women's locker room, shaving your hairy legs.
Yeah, just
not okay.
Yeah. And I understand, well, if I go in the guys' locker room, they're going to make fun of me. Well, yeah, because you're a dude pretending to be something else. That's just part of it.
Hear me out. You don't have to use the gym locker room. Millions of people go to the gym without using the gym locker room, believe it or not.
Yeah, and honestly, guys making fun of you or looking at you funny or making a joke, I get that. It's humiliating. It sucks. Nobody wants to do that. And honestly, I wish people would leave trans people alone. They got obviously enough shit to deal with their mental illness and trying to be something that they're not. I get it. Leave them alone. Just let them do their thing. But when you cross over into, okay, you're my size, and you're going to go play rugby with women that are 5'4" and 145 pounds, and all of a sudden I'm breaking some chick's leg.
Yeah.
Or an MMA fighter crushing the side of someone's skull in, ruining their career, or taking away their medals or their college scholarships and losing their tuition and stuff. Like, no. The chances of you... as much as it would suck getting made fun of and taunted, because obviously if you're trans, it's a form of mental illness. It's no different than bulimia or something else where your mind sees one thing, but the mirror of the scale shows you something different. They're not aligned. There's a disconnect. It doesn't mean you should be made fun of and taunted any more than someone else who was born with scoliosis or bulimic or whatever. You know, it's an ailment. Humans aren't perfect. We have all kinds of disorders. Leave them alone. They got enough shit to deal with.
Yeah. And
but...
and the people, like, you know, who I agree with that are trans, it's like, you know, they're like, I know I'm not a woman. Like,
well, Blair White.
The whole point is that it's like, I'm trying to look like a woman. I know I'm not actually a woman. Right. And that's all I care about, is that I want to look like that. So that is completely understandable. And if that's how you want to live your life, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to bully and harass these people if they're not affecting you. It's the ones that are screaming, you know, I am a woman, and it's ma'am, and how dare you misgender me and stuff like that. Like, you're not a woman. I'm sorry. It's not how that works. Even if you got an operation, it doesn't magically make you a woman. You know, what is it? Childbirthing persons or whatever. That's a woman. Yeah. Like, there are two real genders, and that's it. I'm sorry to burst your bubble on that one.
Ma'am, I need to talk. Sorry, I need to talk to you. It's ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ma'am, your balls are showing. Your balls are hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, I think a lot of. Well, you could probably tell me more than. But I mean, it's all now lumped into one group. LGBTQ.
Right.
I think you would think that most gay people would probably go, you know what? LGB?
Yeah.
T off to the side.
There is a reason why gay people really don't like trans people, and it's because they included themselves into this group
and hijacked it. Literally, and like said like, well, you're, you know, like, I'm trans and you should be my ally if you're gay. I never said I fucking liked you. I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm sorry, where did you come from? Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, you'll meet a lot of, if you're like around gay people, sometimes you'll talk to ones that have been in it for, you know, they've been gay 30, 40 years, and they have a husband, and they're a guy, like they're gay, or it's a lesbian couple. Some of them will admit, I don't like trans people, like, because this is the shit they do.
I think a lot of them would admit it if they weren't afraid of.
Right.
There'd be a lot more. There are a lot.
Yeah.
But there would be more if they weren't afraid of the repercussions, because for whatever reason in our society, this small minority, you know, if you say the gay population, people that are truly gay and not just a girl who, once in a while in college I got drunk and hooked up with her. If you say, okay, you're a gay person, you're talking what, maybe 1% of the population-ish?
Right.
And then out of those trans, you might be talking like 2 or 3% of the 1%.
A fraction of a percentage is trans people who identify as trans in the United States. A fraction of a percentage.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
But the amount of power they have to get you canceled and silence you and go after your... I mean, just all the crazy shit. It's like, they only have this power because the rest of us give it to them. They don't have the buying power to have an effective boycott. They don't have enough representation in politics of their own to affect anything.
Yeah.
Society could just say, Steve, Susan, whatever your name is, shut the fuck up and ignore them. You're not going to the women's bathroom. If you do that, we're going to charge you with trespass. We could put a stop to this nonsense like that.
Yeah.
And they would be powerless to do anything economically, physically, politically. The power they have is because we've just agreed as a society, well, we're just going to let them and steamroll over us.
You were actively watching the Democrat Party wake up and realize that this did not work for them. Yeah. That taking the side of such a small minority, the smallest minority probably in the history of the United States. Yeah. I mean, think about that. I mean, melting pot of the United States.
Asian women that can drive well.
There you go.
That would be small.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that one. So, but yeah, like probably one of the largest or smallest minorities in the history of the United States, and they were bending over backwards to please them and give them what they demanded. it blew up in their face.
Yeah.
It literally cost them an election. People voted in the 2024 election based on stuff like that because they were sick and tired of hearing about it.
Seeing women get beat up in sports, seeing big hairy dudes. I mean, before I was saying about, I'm going to get made fun of in the locker room or the men's room. Guys are going to look at me funny. Okay, it's uncomfortable. It's awkward. It sucks. It is what it is. People can be dicks like that. However, you're in more danger of a problem by trying to go into the men's room with someone's 9-year-old daughter with that father. Like, if you're really worried about how you're going to get treated or trans violence, there's not that much violence against trans people, to be honest. I don't think there is. I mean, unless they're doing something. But, the idea that some dude's just walking down, I mean, maybe if you're a dude walking down to Harlem at 3 a.m., some homies are going to, give you a hard time.
I mean, and the thing is like,
most people don't just go around beating other people up.
Rape and stuff like that, it happens, right? Like, there's awful people out there and this stuff happens. That's why it's a statistic. And it's like, well, if you make yourself look like a woman, there's probably a chance that you might end up that way, part of that statistic, and that sucks. But it's like, but to act like trans people are singled out and, violence is committed against them because they're trans, it's kind of outlandish because I honestly haven't really seen that much about people actually having violence committed against them if they claim they're trans. I hear people talking
about it, but then again, it's the same people that say dead naming me or not acknowledging my pronouns is literal violence.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. So they might be blowing it up a little bit. Not sure too much on that one. Yeah, words are violence now, so...
Yeah, now if you're saying, well, go beat that person up and someone does, then you could say, okay,
it's a call to action.
Yeah, that's a call to action. But if I go he, because you're clearly a dude wearing a dress, it's not violence.
No.
You might not like it, but that's the thing. Everything you don't like is racism. Everything you don't like is fascism. Yeah. Everything you don't like is hate. It's like, you hate my saying.
You don't agree with me, you hate me.
Nice.
It's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah. I just think you're wrong.
Right. We can agree to disagree and still be friends or get along or understand each other, like, from just like, hey, I see your views and that's how it is, okay. But like, to sit there and immediately insinuate, oh, well, because you don't agree with me, you're violent towards me. It's like, or you hate me, or,
well,
I wish...
That's back to the projecting part.
Right.
They're racist, so they call you racist. They hate what you're saying, so they accuse you of hate. Like, Charlie Kirk never said anything hateful. No. The dude was calm, polite, never yelled, never called someone a name. He just sat there and smiled with his goofy smile while people threw shit at him. And they were saying he's hate.
There's stuff he definitely said that pissed people off because they didn't agree with him. The stuff he said was a lot of biblical stuff that he said that a lot of people, including myself, don't agree with. But like, that was his opinion. He wasn't being hateful about it. It was just something he believed in. It's different than, if he went out there and said, like, all Jews are bad or all black people are bad. Yeah, that's probably a big problem. But he didn't say stuff like that.
Never.
Yeah.
The guy was nice and polite and respectful to a fault.
Yeah.
And I think that drove people nuts more because... And that's why they would just go down the hate, oh, he's a fascist. Because if someone says something and they're being an asshole, you go, well, this guy's being a complete ass. When someone's actually, like, quoting the Bible or quoting statistics, and I'm an atheist, I don't believe in the Bible, but so I feel the same way. Like, a lot of his arguments, I'm like, you're right, but if you're saying while you're right, I think there's a better argument to make that's more factual. If you're saying, well, because this magic book I have that was written by people that thought the world was flat said so, I'm like, that's sort of a weak argument.
Yeah. Paraphrasing a book that was written 2,000 years ago.
Or more.
Exactly. Old Testament, exactly. 3,000 years ago. So, yeah, it's...
But that doesn't mean he was hateful just because he's telling you that you're wrong about something.
Yeah.
But I think when someone you or I tells, like, if you go... Ducati sucks, because I'm a Ducati fanboy. Well, I'll argue why I think they don't, but like, I never get mad, because I don't take it personally. Why? I mean, if I worked for Ducati, if I was the CEO, maybe I'd be like, hey, dude, you're bashing my brand, and that's my money.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't have any skin in the game. I have an opinion, you have an opinion. I don't give a shit. I may argue with you just because I like debating. I find it mentally stimulating to spar back and forth and all that stuff, but... it's like, whatever. I'll walk away and be like, oh, let's get a hamburger. I don't care.
Oh, Cameron, you hate Ducatis? Your words are literally violent.
Yes, you are violent. You are dead to me.
Yeah,
Good
right.
day, sir.
I said good day.
Exactly.
Yeah. This whole political issue with people claiming that because you don't agree with them is violent, or you hate me, or you're
a Nazi.
Yeah, you're not a Nazi. That is this whole thing about being not like. And these people are claiming these things from the least oppressed country in the world. Well, pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some issues here, but like, I mean, you want to find what oppression is like?
Yeah.
Why don't you go speak to the people in Iran right now?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have thousands of videos coming out of Iran from people who have lived there, and they are. While they're not happy that there's bombs blowing up in Tehran, because there will be some collateral damage, but they're like, the danger of those bombs killing us is preferable by far to what the Iranian regime we represent. Our bombs represent less danger to them than their own government over the last 47 years.
Right.
That's them saying that, not Trump, not Netanyahu, not the Jews running the world with the New World Order, or whatever other bullshit Democrats say. That's the people that are living there next door to where the bombs are falling.
You have a right in this country to peacefully protest. That is one of your rights. In Iran, they have an entire secret police force to subdue and suppress protesting, people speaking out against the government, anything like that.
They just executed a wrestler this week.
Yeah.
A kid. He was like a collegiate wrestler or something like that, was a champion wrestler, and he spoke out against the government. He was picked up at one of those protests, so they hung him in public. Yeah. 19-year-old kid this week.
Did you? Yeah, and then did you see how the Iranian women's soccer team was in Australia, and they were caught like there was a couple of the athletes that were defecting from the hotel they were staying out there in Australia, and the soccer team like staff was chasing after them because they defected.
Yeah.
Like, that's how oppressed these people are. They needed an opportunity in a different country where they were at a hotel to get away.
Yeah.
That is oppression. Women in the Middle East are oppressed. You don't know what you're talking about.
So here's a bit of ironic trivia. Do you know what according to the writer, one of the primary inspirations for The Handmaid's Tale was?
What is that? No, like
the Iranian revolution, and by being taken over by a theocracy in the 70s by the Ayatollah, and how women went from a normal culture where women were walking around in miniskirts, going to university, driving cars, owning property, working in corporations, dating, dancing, and then you had the Iranian Revolution and the Ayatollah and the religious regime, who are Muslim. They were outsiders. They're not Iranians. The Iranian regime are occupiers, a term we hear a lot about. They took over, and now the women are covered. They can have acid thrown in their faces. They can be beaten by their husbands. They have no rights. Can't drive a car. All this shit. That was one of the main inspirations for The Handmaid's Tale, which is ironically what Democrats used to portray Trump and MAGA when it was Trump that just took out the inspiration and the exact type of system that launched and created. Like, most Democrats aren't even aware of that. They just walk around with this and keep talking about The Handmaid's Tale, thinking it's some epic mic drop moment that, oh, I just dropped a salient point. And you're like, you're retard.
Right.
It was written about exactly what we're fighting against and who's leading the charge. Trump and MAGA.
Right.
You have it backwards like most things in life, and you're not smart enough to understand that.
Yeah. And like, people are like, this is definitely a sensitive issue right now, especially American politics, because he said he wasn't going to start any new wars, and it's fair, and no one wants that. But at the same time, Iran was the largest sponsor of global terrorism in the world as a country paying for terrorism, and I'm okay with our country taking that out, because that's better than leaving it to grow and develop nuclear capability and all these things and continue to harass, kill, oppress their own people. As shitty as it is that we entered a war, that's what we want to call it now, because obviously it's an ongoing developing thing, and it sucks because it does tank the economy, especially with oil, the Strait of Hormuz, even if it's like just an influence thing, because obviously we can get our oil from other places, especially with the Venezuela thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sucks, but I would much rather this happen than what they would continue to do, and who knows how bad it could get in decades from now.
Iran has killed thousands of Americans over the years. They've attacked our bases directly and indirectly with Houthis in Yemen. You've got Hamas. They financed and directed and armed Hamas to start the war in Israel.
Yep.
They, who's the other ones? Hezbollah.
Hezbollah, yeah.
All of those are all proxies so that Iran can launch wars
without getting directly involved.
Without being, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, if you give the guy a gun and pay think about in our country, we've had cases where the woman didn't know it was an undercover FBI agent, but paid an assassin to assassinate her husband to get his money. She was charged with the murder, even though she didn't pull the trigger herself.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a legal precedent for that, which is why they try to do it through other groups, so that the UN or NATO won't crack some skulls and come down on them like Trump is. So they've been doing this around the world for years, decades.
And the great thing about them doing proxy wars by paying other organizations, terrorist organizations, to carry out their dirty work, is that Iran knows that if they poke the bear with the rest of the world, especially a nuclear superpower like the United States, France, Israel, the UK, all of these countries that may or may not have nukes but are complete allies and would go to bat for anybody, if you poke the bear enough, you're going to get the claw. And the claw is a lot stronger than what you have.
That's the claw.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, F-14s are not going to cut it.
No.
Like, Su-27s are not going to cut it. These are ancient aircraft. I mean, they have, and
we took out their entire air defense in less than a week.
We just used a torpedo for the first time since World War II.
And took out their premier battleship.
Yeah, took out a brand new battleship. I mean, they're outmatched, and that's why they've been doing this proxy war thing, because they know
until they get a nuke.
Right,
that would change
exactly.
The game, and that's
then,
the problem.
Then they can launch their own wars, because now we have to be careful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and their capabilities, I mean, they were telling us we are not going to stop enrichment. We are not going to stop working towards a nuke. It was only a matter of time until they got it. And they just launched 2 missiles at a base out in the Indian Ocean. It was 2,500 miles away yesterday. That actually surprised us a little bit, because we didn't know that they had ballistic missiles that could go that far.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means if they can hit that, they could hit a whole bunch of areas in Europe that are NATO nations.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but the timing was right. You can fight them now when they don't have a nuke, or you can wait till they have a nuke, and then you got to worry about waking up to a mushroom cloud over Jerusalem or Dubai, because they're attacking the UAE. They're attacking Saudi Arabia. They are attacking allies of ours right now. They're not just retaliating against us. They're retaliating at everybody around them. They're just launching shit everywhere.
And keep in mind that the U.S. used a weapon, a ballistic missile, a new type of ballistic missile, when they attacked the building with all of when they were voting for a new Ayatollah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that missile that was used during that attack was a new type of ballistic missile where it goes straight up into space, about 100 miles into space, and comes directly down over the target and literally accelerates into the ground, so that by the time it appears on radar, it's over. There's no stopping it, because it won't even pop up on radar, seconds before it impacts. So these are the types of weapons that countries are developing, and these are just the stuff we know about. This is stuff that's declassified. Remember, we just started using lasers on ships for the first time and actually taking out drones with almost no cost.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we do not want Iran to become a superpower. This is why it's happening. It sucks, and it sucks that we're here and it's going to tank the economy, but it is much better than what's coming.
Gonna, you know, here's the thing. It's not going to tank the economy because, honestly, a lot of wars have actually been good for the economy.
Right,
in that all the contractors making ammo, supplies, raw materials. There's a lot of things. There's also a bit of 3D chess going on here, because on the horizon, while Iran is the most immediate threat, China and Russia are still in the equation. And China and Russia, most of their oil, or 40% of their oil, was coming from Venezuela and Iran.
Right.
So,
believe it or not, China really doesn't have as much natural resources as you think they do.
Right.
They have a lot of minerals, but that's about it.
Yeah, oil and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at their China's an amazing country.
Right.
Hate the government. Country's fucking awesome.
Right.
Like, the technology, they are like living in 2050.
Literally.
Yeah, well, that requires electricity and oil to keep that going, to literally keep the lights on. So while they have all those minerals, they don't have the energy.
Yeah.
And so they depended on Venezuela and Iran for that, despite trade embargoes. And so now that's all being disrupted. So he's taking out the most immediate threat of Iran, liberating 90 million people that are waving American flags and wearing Trump t-shirts, while here blue-haired liberals are screaming their, talk about no kings. Let's talk about being detached from reality. And then you've got China and Russia now. If we, whether you say install governments, whatever, if we have governments that are favorable and we set up good trade agreements with Venezuela and Iran for helping them out, helping them rebuild, like we did with Japan. I mean, we dropped fucking nukes on Japan and now they're our BFF.
Right.
Now we have more control over the energy to Russia and China, and they are desperate for that. They have nowhere else to go. So that means they got to come to us, or at least through us, or through our allies and friends, which gives us tremendous leverage. You can say, whoa, we're strong-arming other countries. Yeah, Putin and China, communist China. These aren't good countries. The people are good, but the governments are not good. They're horrible. And so is that a bad thing that the U.S. You crack some skulls now, but if overall the aggregate is you're helping keep the peace and keep bad players in check, is that not a good thing overall?
It benefits the world. It benefits the free world, like where people actually have freedom and get to vote and get to have elections and aren't oppressed into beliefs and forced to do things they don't want to do because they may be a woman or they may be this or that. We're believe it or not, we are protecting freedom across the world by doing these things.
But freedom has a cost.
It has a cost.
Unfortunately.
And that war has
freedom isn't free, as we learned in Team America. Freedom isn't free. What they say, it was $1.05 or something like that. It was like free. That was like the final line. It was like this epic song, and then they're like, "Freedom is $1.05." All right.
bringing democracy to your doors in 1776.
Oh man.
So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens and see how. But it is. I was going to make a point. I was going to say, it's interesting. We've. It seems like every player that steps up to the plate as the leader of Iran seems to get eliminated. So just fair warning to if there's any Iranian government officials watching this podcast, probably shouldn't claim that you're the leader of Iran because you're probably 24 hours away from getting executed.
Exactly.
We will find you.
It's all right, any volunteers for this one? Everyone's like looking around like, ooh, I got somewhere to be.
Crazy.
All right, so any other topics you want to discuss? What's going on this week with you, Cameron?
Nothing really too crazy. I mean, getting the Triumph tuned today. Got the Triumph floated on. I don't know if we said that, but we're headed back to South Carolina to get the Triumph tuned. Hopefully, finally get it taken care of. But nothing super new to talk about.
Did Scott do anything gay this week, or?
No.
I just like making fun of Scott.
Yeah.
You gotta make fun of somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, we told him to go get the Michelin 6s and he got the 5s.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
there we go.
Come on.
Come on, Scott.
Fucking amateur.
Probably
man.
generation old tires. Those tires have been out for 6-7 years now. What are you doing? Those are closeouts.
Weak sauce, man.
Weak sauce.
Can't do nothing right.
Yeah. I know. It's gonna be.
Where is he today? Why didn't he want to come with us?
He's moving.
Moving?
Scott is moving. Just across Woodstock. Up near Lake Allatoona. So.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good excuse.
Yeah. He might be coming with us tomorrow to ride though. So.
All right.
We'll see.
Cool.
But. I don't know.
All right.
You have anything new? Anything new in your life?
No, I mean, that's it really. I guess that'll conclude the Dave and Jimmy show. Oh, I mean Cameron.
Yeah. Yeah. No Jim here.
I still won't. I have actually tried. Like I would comment on one of his pictures on Instagram. He won't even respond. I'm like, come on, man.
It is what it is, you know.
He got a street bike. He's got like an MT-09 or something now, or something for the street.
Makes sense. Finally, you know.
Yeah, that's the bike I told him to get.
Right. Only took forever.
I don't want a naked bike. I like to look at the. Then what does he do? He goes and buys it anyway.
Yeah.
At least I can say, hey, listen to me. I finally talked some sense into it.
Finally.
Oh, my eyes are watering from the pollen.
It's bad. It is among us.
My black car is green.
Yes. We are just entering pollen season, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Yeah, last weekend was 80. Then it was 27 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And now it's back to 80 again.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, no wonder I feel like sinuses are going crazy.
Break out the pants in the middle of March. It's ridiculous. It snowed on Monday. It snowed.
And it was 80 on Saturday.
Yes. It was like March 16th. What are we doing here?
Are we serious right now? Now we just sound like two grumpy old men.
Yeah, right. Damn weather.
Not like the weather was when I was growing up.
Right. Back when I went to school, I had to walk 17 miles through 10 feet of snow to get to school.
Uphill, both ways.
Yeah, uphill both ways. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh man.
So, all right. So, voter ID laws, good. I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
And
not racist.
Not racist.
Just making fair elections.
Yeah. And if there's no fraud and we don't need voter IDs to protect against fraud, then stop claiming that the 2000, 2016, and 24 elections were stolen.
Yeah.
Fucking clowns.
Right. Yeah. Identifying as a woman when you're really not a woman, not good either. So.
Yeah, Facebook just keeps pushing stuff at me. It's always some really ugly dude. Trans women are real women. If they were real women, you'd just say women. You wouldn't say trans.
Exactly.
Trans means not real woman.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then, you know...
It's an orientation. It's not a physical thing. It's... An identity is not the same as...
And
the problem is, I think, the word gender. Gender, historically, has always been male and female.
Yeah.
We apply it to people in other languages.
Yeah.
Like a chair for some reason. Or, you know, certain things are le versus la. They assign a gender. I don't know if it makes sense.
Especially when they start putting on, like, you know, censuses or, like, say you fill out some paperwork for, like, you know, medical reasons. When they put sex and gender both on the paperwork, people get very confused what that could be. Because it's like, why are you asking both? Even though they should be the both.
Well, because for thousands of years it meant one thing. And since 1948, when gender identity theory came out, which was not that long ago, they started changing the language. The thing is, they should just make it an orientation or give it its own word. That would avoid most of the confusion. Because words mean things. And when you start taking one word and you're like, well, it just means this now. No, it still means the other thing. And those things are at odds with each other. And that's where most of the arguments come from. If you just said, look, my sexual identity, which is the same as saying you're bi, or you're gay, or you're this, or you're asexual, whatever.
Right.
You're trans. Oh, okay. Nobody would argue with that. We'd go, all right, whatever. That's right. But when we refer to people, we typically refer to them as who you are.
Right.
I refer to you as he or she because you're a male or female. I don't refer to you as straight or bi or this. That's none of my business unless you choose to share it with me. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. That's what you do. Whatever.
And also, you know, totally forgot to, you know, get on this topic is that, you know, with pronouns, it's like, you know, if you want, and you're identifying as this, or, you know, even though we know you're not actually a woman, like, it's one thing to ask, like, hey, can you just say she? But it's a whole different thing when you start making stuff up, like Z or he, she, they, you know, all at the same time, like, you know, or it. It's like, that's not how it works. No. That's not how it works. People don't address people like that, and that's when you start to lose that respect. If you're looking for respect and you're just looking, hey, just like, this is how I am, it's like, don't claim that you're a cat, you know?
Yeah, which and people go, oh, that's just you're being silly.
Right.
No, it's not. Look up Therians and other kin furries, all that shit. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of Americans who identify and live as animals, and they put on a leather dog mask, and they have their dog master on the leash, and you know, they go through this whole thing, and it's a weird, it's like fetish thing.
Yeah, like it's a thing, and then the problem is they take these kinks or these fetishes and they transition them towards like their normal life, and then they expect everybody to respect these things. Not gonna respect the fact that you want to be a dog, Dave. I'm sorry. Like, as much as I know you really want to be a dog. That is literal
violence.
Yeah, those are violent words, Cameron.
I'm offended, and if I'm offended, that means I'm right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah, pronouns. It's like nonsense. Come up with your own word, or just come up with a category. Put trans in its own thing that just says, all right, well,
if you want to have a trans-only sports league, by all means, go do it. That's fine.
No one's gonna watch it. Be like the NBA, WNBA.
Just don't be born as a man and parade in women's sports, because that's just not how it works.
No, I mean, you can't. That's another thing. You cannot claim to be a feminist and pro-trans.
Yeah, exactly. It's impossible.
Yeah, pick a lane. It's one goes that way and one goes that way. If you're saying that women should be protected and women have their own space and women, you know, need equal opportunities, but then we're just going to let dudes come in and take it over because they changed their name and their pronouns, then you're not a feminist.
Nope.
Not at all.
So, yeah.
It means you don't understand what feminism means. Just like the people that call you a fascist. Well, what did I say was fascist? Well, you're hateful. Well, what did you say? What did I say that was hateful? Well, I hated what you said. Well, like, so the hate is on your side of the equation? Would that make you the fascist? Like, you're the one trying to shut me down and do violence on me or whatever. Like, that sounds like fascist shit to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, we're going to stop here. And congratulations to the two people that actually fucking made it this far.
Wow, yeah.
And then we're going to go and charge this shit up. And, wow, we went an hour.
Hour and 7 minutes. Look at that.
God damn. So
heated conversations.
Definitely.
Passionate.
So, thanks for enjoying the David Cameron Show. Hit like, subscribe. Probably should have said that in the middle and not at the end when nobody's still here.
Right.
Just us.
Dave Cameron in a water bottle.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
Our sparkling spritzer. So, all right, everybody. We'll take it easy. Next video, or other video coming up today, dyno tuning up at More Mafia, which means we got to charge my battery.
Yeah, we got to do that. So.
All right, folks.
Adios.
Peace.